channel. It is late here this evening, and I was actually getting ready to go to bed. But as like always, I continue to go down some rabbit holes, and so I went down another one this evening, and I found something very interesting that I had to get out because if I wouldn't have, then I would have been thinking about it all night long and wouldn't have gone to sleep. So, anyway, there's been a lot of talk here about the powers to be being able to have the ability or not to be able to control the weather. And one thing that we have learned in this waking up process is they always show you what they're going to do or what their plans are. So for example, like with COVID, you had Event 201. It was a war game that they did before that hit. So they always do this, and they use the music, they use our movies, different things like that, things in print, to show you what they're going to do. Well, I found something this evening that I thought was very interesting, and I do want to share it with you guys. It is from 1959, and it was put out by Walt Disney. And the video is about 26 minutes long, but I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to start it at the 17-minute mark and let it play out. But as you watch it, think about what we know now. And also, while you're watching it towards the end, how they're making this sound like a good thing that they can do, a noble thing where they can save humanity. Um, it's just very interesting. I'm just going to play it and then we're going to close this out. Because, like I said, I wasn't prepared to go live tonight, but I was like, man, this has got to get out there. So let me get the other device up and let me flip the camera. Okay, and hopefully, and we'll hit play. All right, here we go.
Prediction charts have indicated that a powerful hurricane will begin forming today in the Atlantic Ocean. The electronic weather map shows an intense storm system building up about 1,000 miles due east of Miami, Florida. The controller calls for a close-up satellite view of the troubled area.
Coco 526, Yankee 2.5.
Okay, controller. Coco 526, Yankee 2.5.
Characteristic swirling clouds of the hurricane are beginning to form. At sea, the waves anticipate the violence to come. The controller calls for a last-minute prediction of the hurricane's path. If control measures are not begun at once, the hurricane will smash across densely populated areas within 48 hours.
11 a.m. EST. A hurricane is forming 960 miles east of Miami, Florida. If control measures are ineffective, it will pass inland at Cape Hatteras in 48 hours. Control operations will begin within 2 hours, but safety precautions should be completed from Cape Fear, north no later than 6 p.m. tomorrow.
At Weather Central, the control strategy is mapped out. A ridge of high pressure slants across the eastern United States between two low-pressure storm systems. If these two storm centers are intensified, the high will build up along the coast, forming a barrier that will turn the hurricane out to sea.
Oh, really?
Stand by. Now pulling in satellite number 1 for visual check of low-pressure systems L20 and L21.
The operator brings the satellite into focus on the two storms. One centered over Kansas, the other over Labrador.
Changing to northeastern low, L21.
With the touch of a button, the battle begins. On the ground, chemical cloud seeders begin to work the two storm areas. Robot planes seed the clouds from above.
Drones. Robot planes. Drones.
The storm centers over Kansas and over Labrador intensify as seeding continues.
Now changing over to Hurricane Center H8.
pounce as 100-mile-an-hour winds lash the sea to a foaming frenzy.
All stations, Sector C. Activate Phase 2, Control Plan Delta. Set vapor rockets for 42,000 feet. Execute.
As an emergency measure, the controller calls for a salvo of vapor rockets to be fired ahead of the path the hurricane is predicted to take. These artificial clouds will block the sun from evaporating more water to feed the hurricane. The reports coming into the control center indicate that the diversionary cloud seeding over Kansas is now creating a flood danger. Specially equipped robot aircraft are dispatched immediately to release a high concentration of cloud seeding material into the fringes of the storm. Heavier seeding from the ground also helps to subdue the rain by spreading it over a wider area. The controller calls for another view of the hurricane, which has now moved closer to the coast.
Signal out on number 1 satellite. 10-minute interruption for correction. Have you anything else in the area?
Satellite station S1 is approaching area. We'll make contact. S1, this is Weather Central. Request video signal at grid coordinates COCO.
An emergency situation has developed. In an orbiting space station 1,000 miles above the hurricane, a crewman sends a temporary picture back to Weather Central.
Don't you love the music?
Okay, S1, your video is R5S5. Thank you.
The hurricane has stopped moving toward the coast, but is still intensifying. It must be made to move northward and out to sea. This is a crisis.
Aberdeen Station. Activate multiple seeding rockets on course 117.
The controller decides to fire cloud seeding rockets just ahead of the hurricane, hoping to start it moving. Slowly, the hurricane begins to shift. All available forces have been brought into play. Now we can only watch and wait. Of tension, the turning point is reached. Latest reports indicate the control strategy is successful. At last, the high-pressure ridge has settled along the coast, forming an invisible wall of safety. The storm is over. Danger has passed. The hurricane has been defeated, turned away from the land, and left to spend itself harmlessly far out at sea. In the world of tomorrow, weather control will enrich and safeguard our daily lives. In the foreseeable future, we will conquer more than violent storms. We will turn the destructive elements of today into new sources of power, shaping the land on which we live. All mankind will benefit. Arid wastelands will be made green and fertile, and vast frozen areas will become productive. To this end, man-made satellites will probe the secrets of the skies. They will be our eyes in outer space.
What do you say to that? I mean, seriously, what do you say to that? This was in 1959 that they put this out. And like Donna said in the chat, they've been working on this stuff since 1947. And actually before that, too. There's actually a story where they messed with manipulation of weather after the Civil War. That's a whole nother video. But my thing here, the reason I wanted to do this is because I've been on Twitter or X, and I see all these people saying, oh, you crazy conspiracy theorists, there's no way that they can control the weather or steer a hurricane or anything like that. If you just do a little bit of digging and research, you will understand that they have patents on these things, and this is stuff that they've been working on for a long time. So just to say, no, it doesn't exist, that shows how naive and ignorant some people can be. Because I don't put anything past these people. Nothing. And so I just wanted to put this out there so maybe folks will watch this, and then that will spur them on to go doing some more digging. Go look up Operation Popeye. Find out about that. Find out what they did during the Vietnam War with the weather. So I just wanted to put this out here to say, yeah, it's very, very, very likely, 100% possible that they manipulate the weather. And to say that they don't and they can't do it, that's a freaking lie. So anyway, I'm going to bed. Just wanted to share that. Love you all very much. Thanks for those that were on here. And y'all take care, and I'll be back soon. Oh, real quick, a lot of people have asked me about North Carolina and what we dealt with here. I'm going to do a separate video on that. But as far as my family, we're 2.5 to 3 hours away from the devastation, so we weren't affected as they were. So anyway, but I'll talk about that later. All right. Good night, everyone. Sending you all much love. Take care. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.